Interesting.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the City of Joliet City Council meeting for February 1st, 2022. We have invocation by Reverend Matthew Robinson of the Westminster Presbyterian Church, 1015 Winthrop Avenue, after which he will lead us in the pledge to the flag, and Mayor Bob Odenkirk will be presiding. Thank you. Stand, please.
Yeah. Yes. I'm standing again.
Friends, let us come to God in prayer. O good and gracious God, first may we say thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you, Lord, for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thank you as well, Lord, for the freedom to embrace you or for the freedom to reject. Thank you, Lord, for loving us even so from your boundless and gracious nature. In the scriptures, you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities, since you have established these very authorities to promote peace and order and justice. Therefore, I pray for our mayor, for the various levels of city officials, and in particular for this assembled council. I am asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times, a sense of welfare of the true needs of our people, a keen thirst for justice and righteousness, confident in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, and personal peace in their lives and joy in their task. Gracious Lord, I pray for the agenda set before them this day. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Joliet. It is in your most blessed name, gracious God, that I pray, and may all of God's people say, Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And justice for us.
Hey guys, it's Dave. I'm gonna ask that if you're not speaking, why don't you mute, because we're getting a little bit of feedback here. So mute unless you get muted.
Chirping bird in the background.
Yes, and then also tell them to keep the noise down up there, because we're getting it out here, we can hardly hear.
Understood.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odenkirk.
Here.
Councilman Clement.
here.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Guerrero.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Here.
Let the record show Councilwoman Gavin and Councilman Guerrero are attending remotely. First is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove Council Memo 82-22, the resolution denying a special use permit to allow a women's opioid addiction supportive living facility located at 1301 Copperfield Avenue. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the removal of Council Memo 82-22?
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move on to council committee reports. Public Service Committee report.
Public Service met yesterday here at City Hall in the council chambers. On the committee and at the meeting was Councilwoman Gavin, Councilman Morris, and myself, as well as Director of Public Works, Allison Swisher, and Director of Public Utilities, Allison Swisher, and Director of Public Works, Greg Ruddy. Greg, I did correct JLL this afternoon because they were bragging on how Wisconsin and Michigan use beet juice. So I texted, what do you call it, Kevin Collins, and said, no, we use beet juice too. So,
Years now.
yeah, exactly. So, and he was surprised. So I got your back. It was a short meeting. There was a number of items that are chemicals. The short story behind the chemicals are, like so many things at this time in this country, prices going up, some can be explained, some not understood well. The chemical prices were going out of control, and we had a couple of companies, one company that we used to do business with that stepped in when another company last fall kind of started gouging us, and they treated us well. And so we negotiated our chemical purchases from these same two companies because they proved themselves to be partners with integrity. And Nick Gornick negotiated the contract very well under the supervision of Allison Swisher. And actually the contract is, they guarantee us the price they gave us, which was reasonable, especially under the circumstances now for this year. And if it goes lower, they will lower our price. So I just wanted to at least give some kudos to those two companies that were, involved. That would be Karis Corporation and Hawkins Water Treatment Group. And I do appreciate their honesty and integrity. We had some contracts that we reviewed for the biosolids disposal program as far as collecting and distributing it, which some people may not be aware, but our biosolids, once they're treated, are put on farmers' fields and used as fertilizer. And there were several of the ongoing water main improvements that we have ramped up in the last few years, especially with the alternative water source looming in 2030. So we looked at all the contracts and we vetted them all, and all of them will either appear in 2 weeks or tonight. I think they're all going to appear in 2 weeks to the full council, and there was unanimous recommendation from the committee to the full council that they all be approved. Did I miss anything, Terry or Betty?
I don't think so. I think you got it.
I don't think so, Larry, thank you.
Okay, then Mayor, that would be my report.
Thank you.
Stadium Committee report.
The Stadium Committee met last month on the 19th. In attendance was Councilman Quillman and Councilman Guerrero and myself. We reviewed the items for the stadium that were in the budget to be sent out to get bids. Roofing was the biggest item there, some painting. They are also bringing back a contract that is being negotiated with the attorneys here on an extension of it. It was announced that the city is going to have a 5-year contract with the state of Illinois for the high school baseball that would be coming here. There's potential that the league will be adding more teams, and if possible, moving to another league with even more teams, but that would not be for this next year. Those items will be brought back to the full committee once that report comes to us from John Wilson. Jan or Caesar?
You mentioned the ISA.
ISA to
And
4 to 5
they're
years.
coming, yes, so that's a big coup for us again. It helps the restaurants and hotels and everything, so. No, that was all complete.
Okay,
Thank
my
you.
report.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the council meeting held on January 18th, 2022 stand approved as recorded. Council memo 65-22, position vacancies. It's recommended the city manager be authorized to fill up to 4 summer laborers in the plant operations division of the Public Utilities Department, 1 laboratory intern in plant operations division of Public Utilities Department, up to 6 summer laborers in the roadways division of the Public Works Department, up to 3 urban forestry positions in the roadways division of the Public Works Department, 2 summer laborers in the fleet division of the Public Works Department, 1 historic preservation summer intern in the planning division of community development, and 4 summer intern positions in the engineering division of Public Utilities Department, and any subsequent vacancies which may occur with these positions. Council Memo 66-22, sole source purchase of ZETX scan suite with TSMA6 drive test scanner and associated hardware for the Joliet Police Department Investigations Division. Council Memo 67-22, award a professional service contract for the 2022-2023 National Bridge Inspection Standards Program to Willett Hoffman and Associates in the amount of $28,215. Council Memo 68-22, Amendment Number 3 for the professional services contract with Rump Sharp and Associates for the downtown floodplain levee project in the amount of $199,798. Council Memo 69-22, change order number 5 for the 2020 sanitary sewer rehabilitation program to Performance Pipelining in the amount of negative $231,894.47. Council Memo 70-22, change order number 1 for the 2020 roadway resurfacing contract A to PT Faro Construction Company in the amount of negative $40,780.17. And payment request number 6 and final in the amount of $12,216.29. Council Memo 71-22, change order number 1 for the 2020 roadways resurfacing contract B to PT Faro Construction Company in the amount of $100,492.03. And payment request number 6 and final in the amount of $185,588.72. And Council Memo 72-22, change order number 1 in the amount of negative $202,815.65. And payment estimate number 4 and final in the amount of $105,660.55 for the Reedwood Phase 1A Water Main Improvement Project to Brandt Excavating. It's recommended Council Memo 66-22 through 72-22 be approved. Is there a motion to approve all said consent agenda items?
Move to approve all consent agenda items. Mouthful.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin. Councilwoman Gavin.
You're muted, Betty.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Motion carried. Moving on under ordinances. Council Memo 74-22, an ordinance to defease the 2014 water and sewer bonds. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under resolutions, Council Memo 76-22, a resolution appropriating motor fuel tax funds for the 2020 roadways resurfacing contract B in the amount of $100,492.03. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 77-22, a resolution declaring certain City of Joliet property as surplus. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 78-22, a resolution authorizing a CDBG subrecipient agreement with the Boys and Girls Club of Joliet. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Krista, yeah, I just want to thank staff and Jim. This is a good use of the money. Boys and Girls Club has played a big role in our community for a long time, so thank you for this.
Yeah, they do a tremendous job down there. You're right.
It was motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
And Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 79-22, resolution approving a preliminary agreement regarding formation of a regional water commission, making preliminary declarations of future Lake Michigan water needs and other related matters. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin. Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Good job, Allison.
Council Memo 80-22, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding regarding shared water delivery services with the Village of Shanahan. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin. Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Krista, Allison, is Shanahan voting tonight on this?
I believe it's gonna be on their agenda for next Monday.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Next is Council Memo 81-22, resolution authorizing a CDBG subrecipient agreement with Holston Human Capital Development. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Clement.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin. Councilman Guerrero.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
No.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
I'll vote yes if they clean up the garbage around the area.
Councilwoman Reardon.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-1. Council Memo 82-22 was previously removed from the agenda, so next is the city manager's report.
I know that you had asked earlier, Mayor, about the services over at Holstein. That we are required to have a community center here, and this funding allows us to provide services out of that community center. Although not 100% necessary, it's a good thing that they do over there, and it helps the community, so.
Yeah, I think to clarify, and you wouldn't know, but I think the community center was part of the settlement that we reached.
Yeah, that's correct. It was part of the settlement. So we have to maintain a community center there. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is new business not for final action or recommendation.
Joe?
No.
Betty?
No, don't have anything, thanks.
Caesar?
None.
Larry?
Just a reminder, there's gonna be ice under the snow by morning, and certainly the brunt of the snow comes later in the morning and the afternoon. Please, residents, if you have the room in your driveways, move all your cars off the street so our crews can do their job appropriately.
Terry? Pat? Jan?
Nope.
Sherry?
No.
Greg, ready? If you can give a breakdown of what we're expecting as far as the storm and what our response is gonna be the next couple days?
Yeah, so, current forecast have kind of tightened up a little bit. I think we're in maybe the 6 to 10 inches of snow range right now. We have our public works crews staged and they're ready to come out, this evening about 10 PM, report for duty. Based on the current forecast and pavement temperatures, we're maybe expecting accumulation to start about 3 AM, guesstimating. But our crews will be out watching, as the snow accumulates and address it appropriately. Right now, the forecasts are showing maybe not as much snow early in the morning as originally anticipated, so the plows will be out, but maybe the morning rush hour won't be as bad as people think, but it's predicted to continue to snow all day, so tomorrow night the drive home will probably be pretty challenging. We do have the crews ready to go. We have also contacted outside contractors. If we need to call them in, typically we do if we get over 5 inches of snow, we call them out to help us clear the cul-de-sacs. We've contacted them and have them ready to respond when we call them out. The city does have a ordinance on the books for parking, or no parking rather, on the streets when we get 2 inches of snow or more. As Councilman Hug stated, if we can get people's cooperation, that allows us to get the streets cleared much more quickly. If you have a garage or a driveway, please get your vehicle off the street. And just to reiterate our procedure for removing snow, we stay on the main roads and emergency routes, hills, bridges, things like that while the storm is going on. We'll hit some collector streets as well. We don't really get into the residential areas until the snow is stopped, but we will get there. With this being a long duration storm, we're asking for people's patience during the storm. We'll get to you. Typically, we try to get all the snow removed within 18 hours of the snow stopping. Obviously, the more snow we get, that becomes a little more challenging, but we are ready to go and attack this.
Very good, thank you.
Mayor,
Yes,
I just wanted to mention, because we were notified that the garbage collection for Wednesday and Thursday is going to begin at 5:30 in the morning. So if you're not an early riser, you may want to get it out the night before.
very good, thank you.
Mayor?
Yes.
And just one thing, and Greg had mentioned this, as I alluded to earlier about on the radio show. For those of you that didn't see the trucks out there putting beet juice and salt down, that was because this snowstorm was precluded by rain. And all the rain would have done is wash the beet juice and the salt right off the street and into the storm sewer, correct?
That's correct. So typically, if we're not going to have the rain, we'll be out there pre-treating the street. You'll see those lines down the street. We put down the salt brine, make sure that it has salt, water, calcium chloride, and beet juice. We didn't do that today because it was raining, and it would have just been a wasted effort. It would have washed right off. So we didn't do that this time. Again, I can't remember. I think maybe Councilman Howard pointed out, we have the rain. The temperature is expected to drop, and then it's going to snow. So there will be some slick spots under the snow until we get some salt out there doing its job.
Very good, thank you.
That's all.
Next is public comments. Jim Lanham.
I'm here to talk about a local and state-wide.
Hey, hold on a second, excuse me. Let's have some decorum here, please, thank you. Okay, sir, if you can't be quiet, we're gonna ask you to leave the meeting, okay? Thank you.
I'm trying to see what's going on with public comment, if we're gonna speak.
We'll allow everyone an opportunity to speak. I'll open it up to everyone after this one.
Tony, can you ask him to leave, please?
I got a right to be here, Mayor Bob.
You're disturbing the meeting, sir, you've been asked twice.
I got a right to be here, Bob.
We'll recess the meeting, we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Records show that the meeting is reconvened. It is 6:59 PM, and we have all of council in attendance, with Councilwoman Gavin and Councilman Guerrero attending remotely. We will reconvene with public comments. Jim Lanham.
I'm here to talk about a local and statewide issue regarding child sex offenders. Either due to a disgusting loophole or grossly incompetent ruling from a state agency, a registered child sex offender in our area is living less than 500 feet from an elementary school. According to this state agency, because he was only convicted of criminal sexual abuse, he is not restricted from the ban. That exemption only applies to public parks, which is in itself a disgusting loophole, as of January 2011. I urge all area residents to contact their state representatives, from Governor Pritzker, Attorney General Kwame Raoul, and our local representatives, and ask them why either this loophole or this incompetent ruling is going on. I think it's quite disgusting that someone that's a child sex offender can live that close, and our state government is saying that that's okay. We need to protect our children from predators like this. So please, I urge everyone to contact all of our local legislatures. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
Now, if you give your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, council. Nicole Lurie, Joliet residents. You guys know why I'm here. First off, I want to see if all you guys remember these articles that were published by the Joliet Herald News and the Joliet Patch, that you guys launched an investigation about a missing video regarding my husband Eric Lurie's death. And I was wanting to know what happened to the findings, what happened to the report. No one has said anything about it. Haven't even spoke up on it. You guys published and commented on these articles about it, but have yet to give the public the findings of the reports that you guys hired this private investigator to do on my husband. I have the findings, I have the reports, and it was quite some time. I kind of went back and forth, like, is it another video, isn't it? Was hearing rumors of it being another video. And here it is, I find out last week there was another video of my husband's death, that me and my family would never know what was actually on that video, because it was discarded, it was destroyed, whatever happened to it. It's not right, and all I've been seeking is justice. This is the first time I addressed this council and the mayor since my husband's death, because I was too emotional and still emotional to speak on it or talk about it. All I'm seeking is justice and asking for you guys to do the right thing. Have the officers arrested, arrest those officers that did what they did to my husband. It's not right. If it was your family, what would you do? How would you feel? You launched this investigation, Caporelli. You guys have the results, and everybody in the report is turning on everybody else in the report, talking about pointing the fingers at what they done and who did what and who didn't do this. They pointing the fingers. And for what? If simply would have just done the right thing the first time, it probably wouldn't even be in this position. But instead, I find out 6 months later that it was a video of my husband death, and what happened after I come down here numerous times trying to figure out what happened to him, couldn't even get a police report. And then for me to find out it's another video that was destroyed 60 days later? How do you think that make me and my family feel? He deserved justice. That's it.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
Hi, good evening to the council.
Sir, name and address for the record, please.
Yes, William Calloway. Ms. Deputy Clerk, thank you for being so hospitable to us Chicagoans. William Calloway, community organizer from Chicago. Just stopped by here to Joliet today. There's a huge concern in our city. There's a miscarriage of justice. There was an ex-Chicago police officer by the name of Jason Van Dyke that murdered a teenager in our city named Laquan McDonald. He shot him 16 times on October 20th, 2014 while he walked away from him. Myself and my independent journalist collaborator, Brandon Smith. We had a FOIA lawsuit and had to force the city to release that videotape. So she fought 60 days. We had to fight 400 days. Okay, so we had to fight for transparency as well. So my heart goes out to you, Nikki, on your struggle. But the reason that why we're here today is because you have a resident here that we need to make contact with. That resident name is John Losh. He's the U.S. District Attorney of the Northern District of Illinois. He's the U.S. Attorney of the Northern District of Illinois. John Losh has the legal authority to file federal charges on Jason Van Dyke. We demand, Mayor Bob, that you and the council reach out to this resident and let him know that the people of Chicago demand him to file federal charges on Jason Van Dyke immediately. And this is the first time we have come, but it won't be the last. We need charges, we need justice, and we do come in peace. But we want to make sure that the people of Joliet understand what we're going through in Chicago. Jason Van Dyke is eligible to come home Thursday morning, and we cannot let that happen. It's a complete miscarriage of justice, and we ask that you reach out to U.S. Attorney John Losh. He's at 330, according to the assessor's office, he's at 3508 Lakeshore. That's where we just left. We can find out pretty much about where anyone you stay at, because you're public officials too. But anyways, we ask that you reach out to him, Mayor Bob. I apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very respectable person. I'm a man of respect. That brother just apologized to me about what he did. We cool, okay? So I don't want to start off our relationship like that. So I publicly apologize, okay? Respect means a lot to a lot of us, okay? But we need you all to reach out to John Losh and let him know that we was here today, okay? All right, I conclude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for allowing us. In front of you all, I put a pamphlet. If you could reach over by in front of the computer there. Y'all took a little recess. That was great. Make sure the mayor get his. Now, we can't have public safety and the mayor don't have his pamphlet. And we have an interim chief, right? Is that Brown back there? All right, he has our vote. He has our vote. As someone who is active in, and we call ourselves the Navy SEALs of violence prevention in Chicago. And we still can't get at the violence. But the issue to me, Mayor, and as we go across this country, this state, it is my opinion, our illustrious Governor J.B. Pritzker ran to be governor to make his cronies legal dope dealers. For 50 years, the state of Illinois built the prison system off the backs of black men and boys with cannabis. It's no wonder something like a Laquan McDonald can happen and it goes unnoticed, no real empathy and sympathy for 16 shots in the cover-up. I'm saying to you all that violence needs a job. These individuals said that they allowed these cannabis dispensaries to happen across the state and down the state in the name of fixing the damage caused by the war on drugs. Reagan's war on drugs and Clinton 94 crime bill that ushered us into prison, industrial complex. While our elected officials, a lot of them being blacks, I'm asking for the same attorney general to investigate the money, the trafficking, and how is it that 99% white men own licenses in this city, in the state of Illinois? That means white women don't own them either. They own licenses. They have locked us up and locked us out, and you still have men languishing in prison for minor cannabis possession and non-violent offenses, man. While men make billions of dollars and we still get arrested for cannabis throughout these cities and these towns. All I'm saying is, as people, when you see this community serving on my back, yes, sir. See that? Yes, sir. Our organization probably personally in Chicago stopped over 300 shooters. Yes, if that's not public safety, and my constituents in here, as a formerly incarcerated person myself who served 21 years, you think that would be commendable for us to come out and serve our community to fix some of the damage that we caused, right? That is overlooked even by our city. And this is my first time encountering you, Mayor. And I hope to be able to talk to your chief. I gave him my card. But we have to fix the violence in Joliet. It's not a black-on-black crime thing. Because we know white men kill each other at a higher rate than black men kill, but they don't call it white on white crime. So all I'm saying is we're here to say that the distinction, crime and violence is America's apple pie. What we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? And I'm saying we, and these people here from Chicago, we throw ourselves at the mercy of you as well, Mayor, to give you ideas and hopes that these guys are coming back to these communities that I represent, even in Joliet, that need services, real program, real system, real amalgamation back into the fabrics of society. Because most of us pay a lot of taxes. I'm responsible for a lot of guys I put to work with no help from the city and elected officials in Chicago. We make it happen though, because we care about public safety. So I'm asking you and I'm saying to you that, hey, please utilize us. I left you information and we want to get back into Joliet as well to continue this process. And I thank you for your time, man.
Thank you.
Hope we can have a conversation.
Okay, thank you.
I can't take it, it hurts my eyes.
Oh.
Hello, my name is Mark Clements. First of all, with all due respect, all of you need to respectably resign your post. I'm going to say why. Because if I put a hand on any of your children, regardless if I'm a cop or whatever role I'm in, you're gonna make sure that I'm held accountable. Yes, sir. What you did, Mr. Mayor, because it has to come from the top down to the bottom. You just think I'm not watching you, I am. Because this woman is an African American, poor, come from the poor community, and 2 police officers are seen clearly on tape abusing her husband. Not only are they seen on that tape, Mr. Mayor, but you played a role with that, Mr. Mayor. You played a role with that, Mr. Mayor, due to the fact that, guess what? You made sure that that sergeant was fired. Because you took it as disrespect that the sergeant released the video over to CBS. The bottom line of it is this. I see Mr. Morris here. One African American. Oh, excuse me, sister. I didn't see you over there. Please forgive me. 2, Joliet. When I come here, I'm watching cops chase African Americans down the street for 1 little stick of marijuana. I'm not here to cause y'all no problems, but where do this madness stop? You got the most African Americans than any town, probably in Joliet by quota, because they inside of a prison and can't even get clean water, as all of you know. 60 days this woman has known of that tape. Mr. Mayor, cut the BS out. Work with this woman so this woman can get her some justice. Because guess what? If that was your wife who they did that to, it would be some justice. That woman got feelings just like you do. In closing, oh, I already know. I seen the tapes. You're looking at a torture survivor, someone that was 16 years old, someone that had my genitals and testicles grabbed and squeezed out of Chicago, someone who, guess what, they do not want me to speak, and none of you do either. I have family here, I have a daughter here. Bring that woman some justice. You can do it. You can do it, Mr. Mayor. I already know about political football. Cut that out. come to this woman in an honorable, fair way. Forget about the middleman who is the so-called, we have to go to the village attorney or we have to go to the city attorney. Cut that out. Want me to tell you why I can say cut that out? Political football occurs all the time, and all they want is their way. Give this woman some justice. Please, I do not want to come back to your town. Give this woman some justice. Or else your casinos and stuff like that, we're going to bring people out here, and we're going to set your town down.
Thank you, sir.
Next speaker.
Take
a seat. Thank you.
Thank you again, dear sister, for the hospitality. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Justin Blake. My nephew was Jacob Blake that was shot 5 times in the back in Kenosha right after George Floyd. Step up here. We stand with this sister here. I didn't come here originally for that, but I'm letting you know I've been all over the country, including the White House for inauguration, and we're not taking this no more. You do not want us to fall up in it with the Floyd family, Breonna Taylor's family, the Blake family, if this sister don't get what she's looking for. I'll make my personal call to the lawyer and get him down here. This is outrageous. This is 2022, and this is outrageous, and we're not standing for it. The shooting that happened in Chicago, as this gentleman mentioned, the sex trafficking, if it happens in this city, county, or state, then it's happening to you. Because if it happens to our children, we're coming to your neighborhood. We're not gonna sit and be quiet anymore. We're not gonna be violent, but we got a mission. And that is that every single Illinois citizen, we pay taxes. These people are shooting us and we pay them? Man, y'all better get off your seat and get this lady some justice. You don't want Crump falling up in here with the Blake family. It won't be nice, I promise you it won't be nice. The casino was shut and everybody be out of work and they'll be looking at y'all like, what are you doing? If you have a tape, y'all need to look at it, come up with it, and be right about this, sister, because we're gonna come back about that business. Tonight, we're here for Laquan McDonald to get justice. If you have this citizen that the brother was speaking about, I don't know his name, I just came in from Wisconsin because the Blake family fights all over for justice. But the fact of the matter is, John, what? They said it. We want justice. Why would he be in the city of Chicago and live way out here? Because he wants to be peaceful and quiet. Who wouldn't we? There's no way you can run and hide in this nation that we won't come and get you. We don't have to get you violently. We can shut businesses down. We can affect cities. We have that power because there's no power like the people. And you have upset the hell out of the people. And for this lady to be here on this night, God will certainly watch it because she got much back tonight. And she's going to get our number when we leave here. And I'm going to give her Crump's number too. This is injustice that will no longer be tolerated. I want to look at every one of your face. Everything on our soul. I wake up for this in the morning after we make prayer. Where are we going next to fight to free our people? This city, this county, this nation, and this state and this nation has illegally captured and held our people in slavery, Jim Crow, and now unlocked slavery, that we don't have access to finance, that we don't have access to education, that we have people being shot, maimed, killed for the people that we pay in the cities that y'all run. This shit gonna stop tonight. It don't have to be nice. My nephew's in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. We don't have to be nice no more. We tried that. We tried to placate. But it's over the placating, the step infection, all that's going out the door. You're gonna have to sit and look at us like you're looking right now, be respectful, and tell us what the plan is to make sure that this never happens in the city of Joliet again. You don't want this smoke, I promise you don't. Big up to the red, the black, and the green, unity now, one Africa.
Mayor, City Council, hope you all are doing well. And to the Black City Council, the two people, there's nothing wrong with being black. Amen. I say that because in a couple of days, Jason Van Dyke will be out. Possibly. As you know, we have many things that we could be doing. Some of us could be home with our children, some could be with our wife, but we're out here. Freedom ain't free. I sat back there and I heard a bunch of I. I mean yes, mean I agree, mean it passed. Whether it's a bill, resolution, or whatever it is, there was a bunch of ayes. So to the city council, to the mayor, and once again, there's nothing wrong with being black. Because that was a black young man that white police officer killed and murdered. That was a black young man that had a future. There's nothing wrong with being black. So I plead with you to call a motion to the floor. And let's hear the ayes again. But let this motion that you call to the floor be in agreement with us that you will write a letter or adopt a letter to send to the U.S. District Attorney that you agree that Jason Van Dyke should be tried and stay in jail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Once again, there's nothing wrong with being black. You can call it. You can start the motion. I, Terry Morris,
Come on.
call a motion to the floor.
Yes, sir.
That we
Yes, sir.
write or adopt a memo to send to the U.S. District Attorney to demand that Jason Van Dyke stay in jail.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Black man.
Call it.
Come on.
Let us see you. Don't be afraid. You got one life. And I guarantee you that not only us is looking, the world is watching you. And what would your kids say about you when you had this time and this opportunity to rewrite history? You have seen lynching after lynching after lynching. You have read about it. Your grandparents have told you about it. But you can stop it today. Call the motion.
Yes, sir.
Call the motion.
Yes, sir. Great job, brother. Great job.
Good evening, council members and mayor. I'm Clyde McLemore, Executive Director for Black Lives Matter Lake County. Y'all remember I was here a year ago, and I told y'all I would bring some people back here. I did not tell y'all that. Now, it was more people here than just showed up. Some of them had something to do, and some of them had to get away from the snowstorm that they covered, you know. I ain't scared.
No, sir.
I ain't scared.
No, sir.
You know, Mayor, me and you done had some words, we done talked one-on-one. I know you're an ex-police officer. I know you put your hands on a protester. You know, you got sued for that. But we come here in peace, but we demand justice. We want justice for Eric Laurie.
Thank you, brother.
And we also want justice for Laquan McDonald.
Come on.
We was out there, and the big cover that went on with Laquan McDonald in Chicago. Now, I'm sure, because it went nationwide, y'all saw we shut down the Magnificent Mile.
Yes, sir.
We shut down city council meetings.
Yes, sir.
We shut down the city of Chicago.
Yes, sir.
And you think that we can't shut down Joliet?
Come on. Come on.
Don't get it confused. It's not a threat.
It's a problem.
If Nicole Laurie don't get no justice,
Come on.
we'll bring busloads out
Come
here.
on.
60 days. Now, I was here a year ago. I ain't been back, so y'all thought I went to sleep. Now, I ain't went to sleep. I just figured y'all would do the right thing, you know.
Come on.
But, you know, just so happened, the U.S. Attorney General of the Northern District live here in your city. And that's real wild, because he was appointed by a Democrat president living in a Republican county. You know what I'm saying? You know, this said something about political football. Yo, this is just a game what y'all do with us. But it's not gonna keep continuing.
No, sir.
It's not gonna keep continuing. You know, I'm not making no threats. I come here in peace. I apologize to you for what just happened. But you know, cause you know I know how I go. I've been here before. This ain't my first go round. This ain't my first time here in Joliet. I told y'all I'll be back. I'm telling y'all again. If Nicole don't get no justice, I will be back. And I do want to say this here. Are y'all so afraid that y'all had the police station surrounded? When I pulled up, I was like, oh my God, police got the street blocked. Come on, man. Is that what y'all doing with y'all tax dollars? For real? For citizens to come in and speak at a city council meeting? Because they could be out there doing something. Serving and protecting, not sticking a knife stick down a gentleman's throat.
Come on now.
For real. So I ask y'all to write that letter. I mean, come aboard with some of the people that have. I just found out Tammy Duckworth, my U.S. Senator, she has finally spoke up. The NAACP, sir, you own the funeral home, you own Black brother. So I know you with that organization. I know you support it. They have the national did send out a letter and everything. So why don't y'all be the first city to do that?
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Come on. Good job,
Lord, you ain't even said nothing. You get it too. Carl Farrell, Joliet resident. How y'all doing today? So, today I'm only gonna speak about indisputable facts. Things we can't argue, right? Because a lot of things, and everybody has their own point of view with certain things, but there's certain things you just can't argue, you can't question. So what we can't argue is that the Connolly law firm was hired by the city to do an independent investigation. The findings of those investigations, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you got the results. But one of the things that we do know that's indisputable is that camera that's outside that points down into that Sally Port, the footage from that camera is gone, right? And I believe that footage should have been turned over to an attorney or somebody who asked for it. With that being said, I believe that's some kind of, I don't know the law, I'm not an officer, I'm not a lawyer, but I know that's some kind of tampering with evidence, some kind of destruction of evidence or something while there's an ongoing investigation. As a matter of fact, all of the charges that Javier Skater got charged with for leaking footage, for being a whistleblower, whoever destroyed that video, whoever knew about that video getting destroyed and not being turned over, I'm saying they should get charged with the same crime.
That's right.
I mean, that's only right, and that's only justice, right? Because if it's justice for one, it's justice for all.
Yes, sir.
So I'm coming before you with an ask today. I'm gonna ask y'all first. Y'all first people talk to me. All right. So I'm asking that whatever was found, that you know the findings, right? That information be turned over to the local media, because the local media was involved when the Connolly law firm was first hired. And it was positively, absolutely sure that nothing was missing, that there was no evidence that was missing, that all the evidence was turned over in the proper hands, you know what I'm saying, the way that it was supposed to, that all legalities were covered. But now that we know they weren't covered,
Right.
everybody who was involved, we need to be held accountable. Either that, or there just won't be no peace, because that's no justice. And no justice,
No peace.
I mean, that's how that go. So that's the ask we coming before you today. Since Javier Skater got held accountable for being a whistleblower, then whoever destroyed that video footage, who was involved or had knowledge of that video being destroyed and not being turned over into the proper hands, that they also have to be held accountable of the same or similar crimes as Javier escaped.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Gregory Sherman. I'm also with Ex-Cons for Community and Social Change. I speak today to try to bring it all together because I have been a resident of Joliet for over 12 years of my life in your prisons. If you wonder why we come from Chicago to talk to you about what's happening, it's because from what I just Googled, 1858 was when the first penitentiary was built, the old Joliet. And when you go to the old Joliet to Stateville, now to the Northern Reception Center, along with the farm, this city has benefited off the plight, destruction, and death of black people since 1858. Every person who has ever been incarcerated, even during mass incarceration, even during still now black people and brown people being a hustle, this city benefited even more than Chicago. Because everyone who ever gets charged has to come through your city. You got people who did more time, myself included, for marijuana case in Joliet, Illinois, than Jason Van Dyke doing for killing the black man. That is why we are in your city. You must be held accountable. Many of you are older white people. Y'all been in this city throughout all of the historic racism. Joliet, the old one, historic for hurting black and brown people. Stateville, historic for hurting black and brown people. NRC, historic for hurting black and brown people. How many buildings have you had to condemn in these prisons? When will you all look at your moral compass? Look at your religion, whether it be Jesus, whoever you pray to, and say, you know what, enough is enough. I've been part of the destruction and the intentional damage of black and brown people for way too long. Silence is agreement. Silence is complacency. So I ask that you understand your responsibility. Stop sitting on your high horse of, Will County ain't that bad. We just get all the slave trade from Chicago. Send us your cattle and we will house them. And we'll get federal dollars so we can build our casinos that are closed. Justice for Laquan, justice for all black and brown people. That's it.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Seeing none, next is mayor and council comments.
Joe?
Oh, just real quick, I know you're gonna probably cover it. Last Friday, we went to the Pit Stop Corner Cafe, which is there at Emerald Drive and 53. We stopped over there, great facility. I encourage everybody to stop there and patronize them. And like I said, really nice place. I know you're gonna hit on it probably, Mayor, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Betty?
I have nothing, sir.
Caesar?
Yeah, just a few things. But first, just to address why I'm attending remotely. I did receive a positive test result for COVID. So just want to take this opportunity to remind people, that this is not yet over. And although I do feel well, just out of an abundance of caution, and participating in today's meeting remotely, I know there's oftentimes some hesitation about taking the vaccine, and I would say to everybody, at minimum, just to be cautious and aware of your contact with other people. Had a conversation today with some contact tracers from the Department of Public Health, answering some questions, and I would say if you believe that you might have been exposed to at least at least get yourself tested to be conscientious of possibly spreading that to other folks. Another thing, just yesterday, as I was driving to get tested, I noticed on Henderson Avenue there was a fire hydrant that was open and quite a bit of flooding in the street. I called in to Public Utilities, and they let me know that folks were already out there, city employees were already out there, that they were actually responding to a water main break. And that they had intentionally opened that hydrant to release some pressure. So, we made a pretty good progress today in forming the Regional Water Commission. This is going to be a huge project and advancement for the city of Joliet. But part of that is replacing our aging infrastructure. So for anybody who believes that, there might be a problem with their water, or notices, as I've gotten calls before, about a possible leak, a water main break, got the number here, and maybe if Allison's still here, she might correct me if I'm wrong. 815-724-4220 to be able to report any possible water main breaks. And then lastly, I can't speak to the specifics of everything that was said today here in public comment, but I would just say that for anybody who was watching and maybe some of what was said resonated with you, and you believe that you might have more to say on the subject, there is the Attorney General's office who would likely like to hear about this. So that number 833-243-1498. Again, I can't speak to the specifics of everything that was mentioned today, but that number does exist. It is there for anybody who would like to share those experiences. That's it.
Caesar, can you repeat the number, please?
Sure. It's 833-243-1498.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Larry?
Just for the parents that may not be aware, I think most probably are, Joliet Grade School District 86, Joliet High School 204, and Plainfield Consolidated District 202, as well as Troy School District, I think that's 60, are all going to be having e-learning at home days tomorrow because of the weather. It's not a day off, it's e-learning, so boo, I get that, but just let the parents know, if they haven't heard that already, that they need to arrange for whatever they need to arrange for, because their kids will be home all day doing e-learning.
Terry?
Yeah, excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, you know what, I'd just like to mention a few events. This is Black History Month celebration, and there's 7 Mountains. They are a non-for-profit organization here, and they putting on at the Joliet Area Historical Museum from February the 17th to the 20th. They're gonna have different groups. There's gonna be some jazz music, some entertainment, as well as some good conversations such as we had here this evening. And I behoove my fellow council people to try to stop by one of those evenings and just, speak with some of our residents that'll be attending, these evenings, and just to kind of, learn, some of the culture. Again, some of the same conversation that was here tonight about some events that has happened in the past, and to stop it from happening further. And so we don't have to keep coming back to this point, hopefully. But I just wanted to mention that's February the 17th to the 20th. But all month long, the universities is having, both of our colleges, universities is having events, as well as some of the high schools, and some of our church organizations is having gatherings that just express some of the Black history, throughout this country throughout the years. That's all I have, ma'am.
Thank you. Jan?
Yes, I was asked by Christina Barra from the Joliet Township that there's a vaccine clinic if you haven't gotten your vaccines or you need a booster. It's Joliet Township government, and it will be held, February, oh shoot, I'm sorry. My computer went down in a second. Okay. On February 4th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., you have to call and make an appointment. It'll be at the Township Government at 175 West Jefferson. And the hotline number if you want to call there is 1-833-621-1284. Again, that's 1-833-621-1284. If you have not received your vaccines, or if you need your booster shot, that would be a good day to come this Friday. So give them a call, and that's from Township Government. That's all I have. Thank you.
Sherry?
No, thank you.
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, yesterday I was invited to the Cornerstone Christian Homeschool on Hobo Road to speak to the preschool class. I want to thank the people over at Cornerstone Christian School for the work they're doing. On January 20th, Governor Pritzker came to town, was covered in the media. He held a press conference, again, to talk about the Hobolt Road Bridge Project, and the state funding that's coming for Hobolt Road. Again, this is part of the capital bill that Governor Pritzker passed when he first got elected. But it's good news that there is infrastructure money beginning to come to our city. I'll follow up with that. Last Friday, I had a meeting with Congressman Foster here in town to discuss the infrastructure bill that was just passed in Washington, D.C. I think Congressman Foster said there's $11 billion that's been allocated to the state of Illinois for infrastructure. So again, we know our community is in need of it, not just Joliet, but the region, with I-80 and I-55 and the local roads around the intermodal. But it's good news. I think there is help coming. So I want to thank both Congressman Foster and Governor Pritzker. As Councilman Clement mentioned last Friday, Pit Stop Cadence Corner Cafe open. Just, if you're not familiar, this is the fourth building that Cadence, or fourth project Cadence has invested in our city. They originally came from Alsip, a south suburb of Chicago. They located their corporate headquarters in Joliet. They've been great community partners, just another nice addition. And I do encourage people, it's at 53 and Emerald, to stop by. And then finally, there's some new faces here tonight. Anyone who wants to meet with me, especially the ECCSC group, feel free to contact my office. I'll sit down. I'll talk with some of you before. I'll be happy to talk with you moving forward. So, other than that, again, we've referenced, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. We've referenced, excuse me, sir. Sir, nobody interrupted you when you talked. Nobody interrupted you. Tony.
And all the people fought for us. I'm fighting for that sister to get on the agenda. All the evidence we done heard, you can't keep going like it's just usual.
Motion adjourned.
Sister should get put on the agenda.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll move. Second.
The motion seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Go home and sleep.